Knicks Nation. Today is Wednesday, the 17th day of January, 2024. I hope this Wednesday finds you safe and healthy. I hope that your family is safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field who, along with the first responders, are out here risking their lives every day to save lives. Blessings upon those that pick up garbage for us to keep our places clean and disease-free. And those also that make deliveries such as mail, food, and water for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help, rescue, deliver, and recover the teenagers and the children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People who are also the victims of prostitution and child prostitution, pornography and child pornography, human trafficking, sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, double curses on the profiteers, and double curses on the perverts that create this heinous industry. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. Nearly 600,000 men, women, and children, and increasingly senior citizens over age 65 finding themselves homeless, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There's going to be a basketball game tonight. The New York Knicks are going to be hosting the Houston Rockets at Madison Square Garden. Big game for both teams. Houston is an up-and-coming team in a sense. They've really done an interesting experiment. So they were basically a rebuilding team. Drafted Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen Sengun, Joshawn Tate. They have Cam Whitmore, Tari Eason, a whole bunch of very talented young pieces. But they intermingled them with a free agent signing of a Fred VanVleet. They intermingled them with a free agent signing of a Dillon Brooks, who Memphis said they would not re-sign under any circumstances, which I found strange, even though he is a bit of a clown. But very few people play defense like Dillon Brooks. That's their OG Anunoby. And so they added these pieces. Then they added a very ancient Jeff Green, and then a relatively young veteran in Aaron Holiday. And they put this together, and now they really are playing very good basketball. They're playing winning basketball. As a matter of fact, when I look at the standings, Houston right now in the West, and again, they're playing in the West, they're 19-20. Now, last year, and they're probably going to do better now. We'll speak about that in a second. But last year, they were down there with the San Antonios, the Detroits, the Washington Wizards. They were in that group because they were rebuilding. But they really speeded up the rebuilding process with what they did with those veterans. So Dillon Brooks is one of their two most important players, the other one being Fred VanVleet. And then, of course, again, they got a couple of young studs, and Jabari Smith, who's really, still developing. He's not anywhere what he's going to be in the next 2 years. And then a revelation in Alperen Sengun, who I wasn't very high on coming out of Turkey. He looked like a smaller version of Jahlil Okafor to me. But no, he plays much better defense than Jahlil Okafor. And, of course, he has all the low post moves, and he can shoot a little bit. So Sengun is only like 20, 21. He's a young guy. And he's a very important piece. He's 21. He'll be 22 in the summer. 6'11", 243. And yeah, he's a young guy. But they put this, they knit these sheets together, and they got a blanket, right? So today, for the last two games, this is the second game, I think they're going to get Dillon Brooks back. Now, he had been out. That's one of the reasons they have been losing. One of the things about them is they, like I said, the combination of veterans and young people, which means that they got, like, for example, a Fred VanVleet. He's kind of their floor leader. He's their Jalen Brunson. He makes the thing go. Brooks is their defensive stopper. And young people, Senguns, the Smith Juniors, the Jalen Greens, the Amen Thompsons, they're watching and learning how to play real high-level NBA defense from Dillon Brooks. And on the other side, you got, again, the young players that are very talented, but because they're young, they still are learning NBA level defense, NBA level fourth quarter execution, things of this nature. So you'll see it when you watch the games. I've watched several Houston games. I've been intrigued by this team, so I've been watching several Houston games this season. They'll be in every game. They'll be, on the verge of winning. But then, like a Smith Jr. would take a bad shot, or a Jalen Green will rush a shot, or Albert Sengun will miss a defensive assignment. And that's where the young part of their team falters. They're all getting better, though. Each game, they're getting better. The last game was very interesting that I saw. I was watching them. They were, what game was that? They were playing Boston. No, they were playing Philadelphia. They're playing Philadelphia. Yeah, I was watching them against Philadelphia. And they were in the game. And they were actually like winning the game. They were really in it to the end. And I found interesting about that game, Fred VanVleet kept feeding the ball to Smith. And why was that? Why did I find that interesting? Smith couldn't hit the ball broadside of a barn in that game. I mean, he was just off the whole game. let me just look at that stats. He was bricking, man. He was just bricking and continuing to brick and brick and brick. And Fred VanVleet kept going to him. Like, you could see Fred VanVleet was trying to show him, I got faith in you. I got confidence in you, even though you're missing. And he, at that time, he did not go to Sengun. He didn't go to Whitmore or Thompson. He was looking for Jabari Smith Jr. Now, like I said, Jabari Smith Jr. is in that Evan Mobley class. Like, he's going to be really good. You might beat up on him now while he's a little kid, because when he becomes a man, he's going to take your lunch. That's how it's going to be with him. He's that good. So, it wasn't that game. It was the game before, because I'm looking at the stats for that game. It must have been the game against Boston. But they were in the game. They were threatening to win, and they needed a stop. They needed a basket, and VanVleet kept purposely looking for Jabari Smith. So to me, that showed a lot of wisdom on VanVleet's part, a lot of farsightedness. He knows what this kid is going to become, and he's just trying to encourage him, and that was something else to see. So anyway, that's the team the Knicks are playing today. They're going to have their hands full. This team is going to be in your face with a Dillon Brooks. Fred VanVleet, again, he is their version of Jalen Brunson. He's going to be attacking. He's going to be playing defense. VanVleet small like Brunson, but he plays defense. He's on that Kyle Lowry level of little guy that can play defense. He plays defense. You got Brooks. You got Sengun. They're going to be looking to come into Madison Square Garden and show out. Okay, period. That's what they're going to be doing. Now, on the Knicks side, okay, we know we lost Mitch Robinson till probably late March, right? Mid to late March, which is exciting to get him back, but we don't have him. We know Jalen Brunson has missed the last 2 games with a thigh contusion. Then yesterday came out that Hart is questionable with, what did they call it? I had to look it up. I had to look up this ailment. But what it is, basically what they call jumper's knee. It's jumper's knee. It's a soreness that comes in the kneecap, behind the kneecap, and limits the movement of the knee, therefore the leg, and that's what we're dealing with right now with the Knicks. It was called patellar tendinopathy. Patellar tendinopathy. So that's what he's questionable dealing with. I get the feeling with something like that, if they go to name something like that, he's probably going to be out today. So you're facing a possibility of no Brunson and no Hart. Now, I think Brunson has a greater chance of playing because he's missed the last, we know how tough he is, and he's missed the last 2 games. In total of, like, he didn't play Saturday, then of course they were off Sunday, he didn't play Monday, then they were off yesterday. So now that's 4 days he's had treatments on the calf. Now, again, I'm very confident in Deuce McBride. He has really rewarded my confidence that I've been saying about him for 2 plus years now, 3 years now. But the Knicks, the other players need to step up, namely Julius Randle and Devo. They have to step up to play. Now, the Knicks could have had an opportunity to win the last game if those two guys showed up or Hartenstein wasn't in foul trouble. The foul trouble that Hartenstein was in also played a big role in that, because that kept the boards in the advantage against the Knicks. It kept the boards in the advantage of the Magic. So we probably had enough to win, and Thibodeau said that. He said, even without Brunson, we have enough to win. And he's right. They do. They just need guys to show up. Okay? So I'm expecting Devo to show up today. Yes, he's used to playing with Jalen Brunson. Yes, he's more comfortable playing with Jalen Brunson than with Deuce McBride. But he's being paid $48 million. He needs to show up. And I expect him. I'm saying to you, I believe he will, because I'm expecting Devo to come out today ready to play. Okay, that's number one. Number two, with Julius Randle, I don't know what to expect. I'm expecting him to give a better effort on the boards today. We could have used that Monday. Again, especially with Hartenstein getting in foul trouble, Julius had like 6 boards. That was a game we needed 12 to 15 boards from him. To me, that was the biggest thing. Yes, he was jacking up stupid threes that he shouldn't have took. But that goes with the territory. But the boards, this is a 2010 career dude. We need to get them 10 when we need them. And so I'm expecting Ju to hit the boards hard today. I'm expecting him to be on his defensive game today. This is what we need. See, I'm not focused on the missed shots. I just hate bad shots. That's bad basketball. Ankle or no, that's bad basketball. Okay, so you don't have, just because your ankle's hurt don't mean you just jack up threes. Okay, that's bad basketball. So I'm expecting a better basketball game from him, ankle or no. Not only that, just to be clear, Ian Begley, it wasn't the surgically repaired ankle that he twisted. It was the other one. Okay, so it wasn't like he re-hurt the ankle that kept him out the last part of the playoffs and kept him out all summer. It wasn't that one. It was the other ankle. So remember that. I expect him to come out and play. Players get twisted ankles. This wasn't like a Mitch Rob season-ending ankle injury. It was a twisted ankle. It happens with basketball. I'm expecting him to come back and play, okay, and be ready to play. So these two things we know. If Brunson plays, now you're going to have Deuce and you're going to have Grimes on the bench. And you're going to have Precious. I'm expecting either a Malachi Flynn sighting, but more likely a Jericho Sims sighting. So Jericho Sims, to me, would be that guy in the second unit today, okay, if Brunson plays. If Brunson does not play, you're going to have Deuce McBride, you're going to have Malachi Flynn, you're going to have Jericho Sims, you're going to have Deuce McBride starting, you're going to have Jericho Sims, you're going to have Grimes, you're going to have Malachi Flynn and Precious. That's your second unit. This is going to be tough, but hey, that's what we got. We got to roll it out and get ready to play. I would like to see Deuce be more aggressive offensively in the absence of Brunson. If he was, like, he took 17 shots, which for him was a lot, because I don't think he's ever taken that many shots in an NBA game. In the G League game he has. I'm expecting him to take somewhere between 20 to 23 shots today. He has to be more aggressive. He has to look for his shot more. Julius should be helping him with that and stop hoisting up three-pointers that are just bad shots early in the shot clock or on a fast break. We got to get Julius more in the low block. He can become more in the low block if Deuce is aggressive, because then they're not keen on Ju as much, because Deuce will go off. Deuce has the, let me give you another revelation. Some of you are just coming to the party and don't understand. I already told you Deuce had a nice shot. Let me give you another one. Deuce could get 30 on you. Okay? He can. He could drop 30. And we need him to be like, wait, if Brunson is out today. Now, if Brunson plays, that's a whole different game, because now you bring your second unit up with Deuce in it. But if Brunson sits, we're going to need Deuce to be aggressive today. We're going to need him to be aggressive, and that means just completely aggressive. Look for his shot first. Some people are tripping because he only got 1 assist. That's not a point guard, 1 assist. You idiots take 1 game and make a career out of it. 1 assist was 1 game. He had 5 assists Saturday. What about that? But anyway, you know, some people talking about he's not really a point guard. I mean, anyway, I need Deuce to be aggressive. I'm not looking for how many assists he had today. I want him to get looking for 30 points today. And I need Devo to hit his open threes and to remember his defensive assignments. This is what we need today. If guys play like that, and Hartenstein is a major piece here, because Hartenstein has shown that he could rebound with the best of them and defense with the best of them. So we're going to need him. His hands are going to be full. Sengun he's a load, y'all. So, but I'm real confident Hartenstein can handle that. So it's going to have to be a team effort. This ain't a given. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be a dog fight. It's the first game of a back-to-back. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Friday and Saturday are back-to-back. They play Washington Friday and Toronto Saturday. So I wouldn't be surprised if Brunson sat today, because then he's got a back-to-back coming up this weekend, and he would have had a whole week with his thigh contusion, would get treatment. The good thing about playing at home is that you get treatments from one of the best medical staffs in basketball, in the New York Knicks medical staff. So they'll be dealing with him, treating him, for the rest of the week. If he could do that, that'd be good. For now, like I said, I got complete confidence in Deuce McBride. I'm expecting also Quentin Grimes to step up today. He didn't play bad. Some of y'all, I don't understand. He had 3 threes. He had 8 points. He wasn't shooting as much because he plays a lot of defense, and we needed that. And I'm looking for him to do that. But if Deuce is starting today, I'm looking for Quentin to get more minutes, and I'm looking for him to get more shots. Again, with Quentin and Deuce, it's not a question of what they can do and can't do, like some people keep bringing it up. Like, it was like less than 6 weeks ago, Deuce couldn't score. Well, now we know he can. Okay? Now we got people talking about he's not really a point guard. Well, he really is a point guard. Okay? Then somebody said, well, he couldn't score near the basket because he's too short. Well, he went to the hole a couple of times last game. Well, now it was Grimes, same thing. Both of them can basically do anything with a ball. They just need minutes and opportunities. You give Grimes 15 shots, you're going to get results. Really good results. I'm looking for that today. Okay? Especially if Brunson is out. That's where I'm seeing Deuce make up the slack. I'm seeing Grimes make up the slack. I'm looking for Devo to come. And then there's our newest toy, OG Anunoby. OG is going to become very important today because he can guard Dillon Brooks. He can guard Sengun. He can guard Jalen Green. He can even guard Fred VanVleet. That's going to be helpful. So with these combinations, even without a Jalen Brunson and without a Josh Hart, I'm thinking the Knicks got a really good chance to win. Also, it's interesting. Side note, Josh Hart, the Houston Rockets got their version of Josh Hart and Jayshawn Tate. These are very similar players. Okay, so it's a very interesting matchup if they were to both play, but I don't think Hart's going to play today. I'd be surprised if he did. And then there's Brunson and Fred VanVleet. That's a good matchup as well. So this is interesting matchups here, but we'll see who's playing and who's not. I'm expecting the worst. So I'm expecting Hart and Brunson to sit. I'm expecting Deuce to step up. I'm expecting OG to do what OG does on the defensive end of the floor and let Deuce be more aggressive. I'm expecting Randall to not chuck up stupid threes, gets at least double figures in the rebounding department tonight. We're going to need that. Hartenstein's got to be careful not to get in foul trouble. He's too important without Mitch Rob being here. And then if we get a Deuce starting, you're going to see Jericho Sims get his opportunity to play alongside Precious being the 4, Jericho at the 5. You will have Grimes and you will have Malachi Flynn coming off the bench there. So, it's a ragtag crew, but I'm confident in our ragtag crew. People talk about we need bench depth, don't know what they're talking about. This is the best depth, the bench depth. It's because of the absence of Mitch Rob, because of the injury to Jalen Brunson, because of the injury to Josh Hart. You must reach into your bench, and that's what we're doing now. When these 3 players come back, those guys that are starting, your Deuces, your Grimes, they'll be the bench depth. See, that's what'll happen. And then Mitch Rob will be part of that bench depth. So we got the roster with the bench depth we need. We just need them to get healthy. That's all. So right now, this is going to be a fight. It's going to be a dog fight. Let's hope the Knicks can pull this out. We need this win. It's a tight race. We're tied for 6th place in the East right now. Let's get it on. We know it's going to be a dog fight. Told you all year, Eastern Conference is going to be a dog fight. And And it is. Here we go. Y'all enjoy your Wednesday. So.